Hi, I'm Mikey and this is Tom Lee. We just finished up a great workout. What I'd like to do is give our Facebook community the opportunity to meet Tom, learn a little bit about what he's doing with triathlons. Tom served our country honorably. He lost his lower leg, or actually his whole right leg. He's an above-knee amputee, but still competes in triathlons, and as you can tell, he's in phenomenal shape. I just put him through a 20-minute intense workout, and he did phenomenally well. So Tom, tell us a little bit about what you're doing with triathlons and a little bit about your website.
Well, so for me, this is actually my first year in triathlon. So what I'm doing now is I've transitioned from more of weightlifting, bodybuilding. It was a hobby of mine. It's where I like to spend my extra time, was in the gym. A friend of mine at work, a real close friend of mine, asked me to train with him for triathlon. And about October, November of last year, and going from 210-pound bodybuilder to triathlete is quite a challenge. But I said to him, sure, why not? You know, I always love a good challenge. So unfortunately, he injured his knees, and he can no longer train for triathlon. His boys play a lot of soccer, so unfortunately, he hasn't been able to join me on triathlon. But as far as myself, I've become a very big fan of the sport and in love with the sport. It's very challenging because, one, it's a very long event. Number two, there's 3 disciplines to triathlon: the swim, the bike, and the run. So it's not boring, I can say that.
No.
Right? So you got to transition. You're going from swimming, the exhaustion of upper body, swimming, almost like a gym workout, working out the upper body, going to the bike and just pedaling your heart out, maybe some hills and stuff like that, killing some parts of your lower body, and then right off the bike you're going to the run, where you've got what's called jelly leg syndrome, and you've got to run now for 5, 10K, you know, and those kinds of distances. For me, it's a sprint triathlon. I'm doing sprint this year, being my first year. Sprint triathlon consists of a 750 to 800 meter swim, a 20K bike, and a 5K run. And that's actually the event distance for our Paralympics. The Paralympics have adopted the triathlon for the first time for the 2016 games.
Okay.
And for me, when I took on this challenge this year, I just wanted to feel it out, not knowing what to expect, not doing this type of training ever, and actually did fairly well in my first event at over Memorial Day weekend in Austin, Texas. Was the Para-Triathlon National event. Okay. And I actually came in 4th place.
Fantastic.
So, and I actually was 90 seconds out of qualifying for a veteran / USOC, United States Olympic Committee, stipend. Okay. 90 seconds out from qualifying for that in my first ever event. So kind of heart-wrenching, but knowing now that I can compete with some of the premium athletes and the Paralympic community. And I don't know how it is in regular Olympics, but that whole community has wrapped their arms around. We wrap our arms around each other. Right. Whether you're a beginner, whether you're an amputee, whether you've got there's different types of disabilities that compete, visually impaired athletes and stuff like that. So since we're all of diverse, almost like cultures, right? There's different cultures that get together. Well, we're persons of different disabilities coming together through triathlon. So it's a very tight-knit community, and it's growing quickly. So I've done 4 events this year so far. Nationals, as I've mentioned, which was a sprint. Did Tri-Rock Philly, which was a sprint, and improved actually between the 2 events, which was about a month. Managed to improve my swim, my bike, and my run. All 3. My transition station needs some work. And then I took on the Olympic distance at the New York Aquifer Triathlon, and finished in 3 hours and 7 minutes at Olympic distance.
What is the Olympic distances?
So Olympic is 2 times the sprint. It was a 1,500 meter swim, a 40K bike, and a 10K run. Okay. And I was targeting I was just hoping I doubled my time, because it's double the distance. I said I just want to finish under 4 hours. Wow. And I actually finished in 3:07 and came in 2nd in my division. Okay. With about 4 or 5 other above-knee athletes. So that put another light in my eye that, okay, I am competing up there with a better group of guys. So, and we all still talk to each other. It's not a combative relationship, even though we're competing against each other in a race. Right. We wrap our arms, like I said before, we wrap our arms around each other. We want everybody to do their best. We push each other to do their best, kind of like you did for me here. Cool, great. Tell us a little bit about your website and how people can find out a little bit more about what you're doing. So what I'm doing now, triathlon, what it is a very expensive sport, and for me to compete and maintain that competitive level with the upper tier athletes, my equipment is basic. I purchased a lower end triathlon bike. There's a lot of travel costs because it's basically a 2-day event. The day of registration, the night before, and then the morning of the race is usually at 5:30, 6 o'clock. You got to be there. So if it's away from home, if it's a long drive, I've got to stay there. So again, very expensive sport, and competing with the lower tier of gear and doing where I am, I'm just needing to upgrade it now. I've got the framework around what I need. It's just upgrading components. So all those costs are coming out of my pocket right now. Like I said, I missed that stipend.
Right.
To the USOC and VA. So I started a GoFundMe website. It's trying to make the Paralympics is the banner I fly under. My name, a search on GoFundMe.com will, with my name and the title of trying to make, and try being TRI-ing.
Okay.
There's triathlons, trying to pull that into the label, trying to make the Paralympics 2016 is the website. And I'm not looking for much. I just want to get through this year because I believe in my heart I'll qualify for the national funding.
Okay.
That way I can just have people in my corner cheering me on, and then, you know,
Cool.
and I thank the people, and they will always be my foundation of how I was able to get to the next level of triathlon.
We'll go ahead and put all that information on Facebook and on the website today for anyone's interested in reading more about Tom and learning how maybe you can give him a hand in competing. I want to thank you for the time you spent with me today. It was very inspiring to watch you go at it for 20 minutes, and I'm sure my clients will get a big kick out of seeing the video on how hard I pushed you, so they can say, oh, I'm not the only one who gets pushed like that. All right? Thanks
Great
again,
workout.
and we'll talk to you shortly.